welcome to A VO's Journey. My name is Anthony Pica. This show is all about helping the new and upcoming voiceover artists grow their business and sidestep all of the crazy things that I seem to step on. Today, we've got a great show. It is April 28th. It is Tuesday, and it's great to be in front of you once again. I hope you guys are having a wonderful week so far. I hope business is doing well. And I want to talk to you today about a question that I got through the VO's Journey website, or VO's Journey Facebook group. And this is a really great question. And, you know, it's one that I think deserves a good amount of scrutiny. And the question is, can I get voiceover work without spending a fortune in marketing or advertising, right? So I love this question because it always brings me back to the whole idea, can you ever really get something for nothing? Okay? And I think that, of course, that answer is no. Right? You're always going to have to give something in order to get something. And the way it works, just like, planting seeds or growing anything, you first have to, you first have to like plant, you got to sow before you can reap. I mean, it's just the law of the universe. But in this case, the idea of only being able to sow money, I think, is where we're going to dive in today. So my first answer, of course, is, can you really grow your voiceover business without spending a lot of money in marketing? And the answer is absolutely yes, you can. However, if you don't spend money, which you don't have to, now we're talking about marketing. We're not talking about buying equipment or anything. We're talking about marketing. You've got to spend something, right? You're going to have to give something. So in the absence of money, right, because people often equate money with time, right, money being allowing you to buy back time, you're going to then have to spend time. You're going to have to spend your time in order to get work, in order to grow your voiceover business, as opposed to spending money. And quite honestly, you have to spend your time anyways to know how to spend your money. But the difference is when you spend money, the idea is that spending money allows you to leverage money, right? Allows you to leverage your time. Whereas when you spend your own time, you should always be looking at that. As I was doing a coaching session earlier today, we were talking about leveraging time. Actually, both of them. We were talking about leveraging our time, and the true way to grow your business or any business is leveraging your time, right? How do you do the least amount of work for the most amount of upside? Okay, so the reality is that it is a different set of actions, and it's different than spending money. Because, perfect example, let's say that you say, okay, I put up a website, and my voiceover demos are on there. I've got a contact form. Now I want to get business. I don't want to go to Fiverr. I don't want to go to these other sites. I really want to do this on my own. I don't like the idea of paying 20%. I don't like, I don't like voices.com being able to control how much I make, et cetera, et cetera. I want to do it on my own, which is wonderful. So you put up something, and now you're like, okay, but now how do I go about getting work? Well, you look at Facebook, for example. You say, oh, well, Facebook offers Facebook ads, where I could purchase, an ad that runs every single day, and I could say that I want to spend $5 a day to run an ad on Facebook, and it even tells me that I could target, I could target small business owners, and I'm going to target them, and I'm going to say, hey, if you need a professional voice message for your business, I'm your guy. All you got to do is go to this website, fill out this form, and, I'll go ahead and get in contact with you, and we'll get your voice message done. And I also charge a really affordable rate. Okay, so there you go. That's a way to leverage $5 a day to possibly get in front of a whole bunch of people. But what you will find is that this works, but not for $5 a day. Because the reality is you have to get in front of a lot of people. You have to do a couple of things. You either A, have to spread a huge net, okay? A huge net that covers so many people, which is this huge idea of big budget marketing advertising campaigns, right? Which is what the multi-billion-dollar Fortune 500 companies, companies on the stock exchange, Fiverr, it's what they do. They market, they blanket an entire region full of marketing, and it's the whole idea is branding, right? And it builds that. But people like us, it actually does us no good to do that because we don't have that luxury. We can't do 1/100th of what those big companies can do because of the money they have. So we're actually wasting our money doing that. Does that make sense? Because the amount of money we would need to spend in order to get the work that we want to get, it's usually not anywhere near what we can do. However, if you notice, I said something like targeting a specific area. So this is where the time comes in over money. Now, on a side note, I think by doing both of them together, you have a real winner, right? Spending the time, and I've talked about this before, but it's the idea of flipping the funnel. Okay, so in a normal marketing funnel, you have this idea of this cone shape, right? And you've got this wide shape at this wide cone at the top where you throw everything in, and then it goes down right to the center. We all have seen this, right? Like a pyramid, upside down pyramid. But the idea of flipping the funnel shows that you flip it to where the narrow end is now at the top. So meaning that you only are putting in a small amount of vetted businesses or specific targeted areas. This is where, like, for example, people are seeing a lot of growth on sites like Fiverr and so forth, and why I've started talking about how to title your gigs very specifically, like with two tones and a category and so forth, instead of just blanking it like I offer this overall service, right? Well, people are looking for specialists nowadays. Because let's be honest, that's what you can find online is specialists in everything. So because people are targeting specialists, we have to present our products in that specialist manner. So by flipping the funnel, spending your time in finding the types of businesses that you're going to work with. So let's say that let's use this IVR thing, this phone messaging thing like I'm talking about. Okay, we know that small businesses now more than ever, right? And especially, well, at least in the USA, especially, and actually around the world, because it's happening all around the world, countries are starting to slowly reopen. Businesses are going to need new voice messages. They're going to need voice messages that say, hey, listen, we are open for a limited amount of hours per day. We have curbside pickup. We've got XYZ. There's going to be new messages that come up. But see, here's where the time and the thought goes into this. Instead of blanketly targeting these huge, just throwing it out there, right? We narrow in and say, we're going to target small businesses in one of these, I don't know how many states that we're opening, I'm talking about the USA, right? In the next week or 2 weeks or whatever. And, we are going to go on there. And by the way, you can do this with ads. Okay, which is unique. But see, here's the thing, and this is where the money thing comes in. You have to take the time to learn how to target a specific state, target a specific business, and a specific manner. You've got to learn that. Okay? And then the amount of money you put into it doesn't have to be as much because you spent the time on how to narrow down your niche, narrow down the specific area that you're searching for. By the way, there is no substitute for common sense. All right? And what I mean by that is communication. We are part of one of those, which is communication. Our frontline workers and stuff, they're part of safety. Okay, those two, all right, those are the two big things right now in our world. Communication is always a big thing, but right now more than ever as well. So we have to be thinking in the terms of what needs to be communicated right now. How can I be there to help? Okay, so in this particular sense, that just came up into my mind about phone messaging. So taking the time to think about that, to think about where should I target, because remember, we don't need, and this is what I think, we don't need all of the massive amount of business that Fiverr needs to bring in for the Fiverr community. We only need enough for us. So targeting specific small areas could still bring us more than enough business than we could ever want. Okay? But you've got to spend the time to think logically about where you could narrow your focus and find business like phone messages, IVR for small businesses in Wyoming that are opening on May 1st or May 4th or whatever. You can actually make an ad that says, if you're a small business in Wyoming that's opening on May 4th and you need or opening in the next 3 weeks and you need a new phone message to make sure you could even do a little video, all right? And you could run an ad for $5 or $10 a day and spend, like imagine, so if you ran it for let's say you ran it for, 10 days, like at $5, it's $50, so in a month you could spend $150 to run an ad, I mean, you imagine how targeted that would be, but it only works if you spent the time. Normally, you would need to spend, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 over that period of time to blanket that amount to get that that idea, right? But instead, you spend the time to figure out what's happening, where to target, and then you could even go deeper. You could even say, if you are a restaurant and you're opening up in this time period, and you are offering a service like pickup or something, I'd love to help you with your phone message. You're going to need one. Here's some examples that you could, that I could do for you. All right. They see that you have that on your website. So the whole point to all of this is that thinking broadly right now is a really bad idea. Right? We've got to say, you're thinking in general terms. You're thinking in such broad terms. Not if you start thinking about it, it's like, holy crap, there's counties, there's communication. We are those people, but we have to be in front of them, helping them know that. All right. Okay. Are you guys able to hear me okay? Hopefully, Alan, can you guys hear me okay? I hope so, because that was some good stuff I was talking about. Everybody, hello, everybody on Instagram. I hope everybody heard me. Oh no, I hope so. Did everybody hear me on YouTube? Yes, or Facebook or Twitter? Anybody? Takes some time, a little delay to get a response, but hopefully everybody's hearing me all right. Alan says either Comcast or YouTube is having issues today. I assume that everybody can hear me because people are still watching. Can someone leave a comment or something to say if you can? Okay, you hear yes. Okay, good. Thank you very much, Martin. It was a little wonky. Okay, weird. It keeps going out on me. Yep, you're good now. YouTube glitch. Maybe that's what it was. Hopefully YouTube glitch. I know that there's been some issues with things here or there, so that's definitely something that we'll keep focused on. Audio is good on YouTube. Video was stuttering. Okay, I got you. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. So anyways, the whole idea here, and hopefully everybody got it, was that you don't need a fortune to spend on small restaurants opening in Wyoming in the next couple of weeks who might need phone messages, okay? And, that's something that is going to be a big deal, right, for people who are in that place. All right, so I'm not quite sure. I'm getting people saying they're offline now. I don't know what that means because I got you. You're responding to. So does that mean you can't hear me? Let me see. Can you hear me? We'll see what happens there. See people Keep saying them offline. Well, I hope for the sake of everybody that you did hear this and that it turns out okay, and maybe the replay will come out better. But this is a valuable topic to discuss. It's important, I think, and I really do believe that this is the type of work you could put in on a regular basis with your time, and with spending a little bit of money, make a huge impact. But here's the point. It's not just there that you need to spend your time. You need to make sure your website is set up for that specific business, or a landing page at least. Thank you people, landing page that welcomes people from Wyoming, small restaurants from Wyoming, and that are opening up. And I don't know why I'm using that. I don't know if that's true, and I'm just saying it, okay, as an example. But the idea here is that you're targeting specific areas, and you can do that. All right. So anyways, I hope that helps, and I hope that all the people who are having problems with the stream, which I have no idea why, I hope it might be something with YouTube. So hopefully that gets fixed, and hopefully later on it works out. I know there's a lot less people watching now, so I'm assuming that something happened. But anyways, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. You have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I hope YouTube and everything gets fixed. All right, talk to you later. Bye-bye.